Welcome back. New at 4, the Iowa Department of Natural Resources is investigating an oil spill that came from an overnight fire in Glenwood.
About 4 this morning, fire crews were called to the Best Finish auto body, and they found heavy smoke and flames and worked for about an hour to knock down the fire. Crews placed sand berms to help stop oil from getting into the storm drains. The Iowa DNR says it's unknown exactly how much oil found its way into Keg Creek, but some 500 gallons of oil and other chemicals were in the building at the time of the fire.
The good news is that it doesn't appear anyone was injured. Investigators are still working to determine what likely started the fire. Meantime,